But as an adult, if we rely on that, it still is just another defense mechanism against the truth of what's going on inside of you and your shadows.
But, Janey, someone else hurt me. It's not my fault to deal with it.
You listen to in high school, it encodes in a certain way that there will be nothing that fucking matches that later. Like,
we're so under the same green and black umbrella of the Chronic 2001.
Dude, what?
Sold Out at the Opera House, I did Eminem's parts. Crazy. I know that album front to back. I can do every song.
Was it like an impersonation thing?
Why you gotta say it like that?
I'm sorry.
And welcome back to another episode of Ellevan Wins Podcast. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie.
And today
we are joined in the studio. Our next guest is an international speaker, best-selling author, and founder of Fearce Academy, a wellness company that helps high performers maximize their mental health and psychological potential. I'm so excited. She's my friend. She's also an incredible vocalist, which we'll get into. Please put your joints up and your hands together for Janey Brown.
That was an awesome intro.
Thank you so much.
Salute.
Cheers.
Salute.
God bless, salute. Good to see you.
God
Thanks
bless.
for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You are a treat. Of a person, the self-awareness. The first time I got to know of you is when we went to your book launch, and you are full of the right type of energy that this podcast audience loves.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you feel that way.
Right off the top, I don't know if Winnie had any questions, but do you want to tell us what you've just been up to
There's
lately?
some fruit flies in here. Well, yeah, we met at a yoga studio that I teach at, and I guess we've known each other for probably about like 8 years or something.
That's crazy if that's true, but I can
think
also
it
believe
is.
it.
Yeah, I think it is true, and I always felt very connected to you as like a person at the studio who's there all the time and a client coming into the studio, and I always thought that you were very wise and an incredible listener. Like, you really take time to like hear people, which I think will probably serve you in so many different ways.
Yeah, you're
which
living
we can
very
get into.
nicely. Yeah, you're very inspiring. Just living. Good job.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe we can just start, because you were a young performer, you know, you had some battles through performance and stuff, and that kind of is where maybe your business started, or the seeds were planted there. So I'd love just to tell everyone where you started in your sort of artistry,
Sure.
I'll say.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I stepped onto my first public stage at age 10.
Bro.
And yeah. And, you know, it was a pretty full-on performance experience as a child. I performed every single summer, sometimes up to 40 shows a summer. My year would look like audition season in the spring, obviously shows in the summer. Sometimes it would run into the fall, and then it'd be like a little bit of a break with sort of one-off performances throughout the year, and then start all over again. And I did that throughout my childhood, landed my first professional show at like 18, and then moved from my small town called Brockville, Ontario, in the Thousand Islands.
There's some Brockvillians.
TV.
Do you say you know some, or you?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, are you guys?
No, we are not.
You'd think I'd know that, but
We just big up the small towns in
yeah,
Ontario.
man, yeah. But, I mean, as we should.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then at 18 moved from Brockville to Toronto and became a recording artist, and that's kind of how that like kind of next level or next episode of. I feel like since I've been living in Mexico, I've been more of a savage at like killing
Grabbing
mosquitoes
them?
with my
Fuck 'em.
hand, but
I think
I've lost the touch here with
These
this.
are fruit flies.
These are
There
the
was some
quick
fruit
northern ones.
earlier. So,
Hey, it's cool, man. Bugs are it's organic.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that performance throughout your, like, I can't imagine being a professional performer at 10 and then just continuing life. Like, I would have I feel like I would have liked that, like as an actor, maybe I would have liked to get into some professional work earlier. But I think as a young person, you kind of have to like grow up faster than
Yes.
the rest of the young people around you.
100%. Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't want to say, there was things about my childhood that were a childhood, like swimming and like,
Yes.
sleepovers and stuff. But like, it was pretty, yeah, it was a very big commitment. And I think the biggest thing there is that you do whether you're getting paid or not. Like, it was always a professional show. I was just a child actor or singer. But you develop a professional identity very young, regardless of what you're doing. And that is cool. It sets you up for, you know, a pretty professional future, but you also, it becomes a part of your identity, and that leads to identity crisis, and that definitely happened at some point. You know, so it can be murky for kids.
Do you think that's because you have to develop what you present to the world and then give yourself time, if at all, to feel your real feelings and be who you really are? Like what causes that disassociation?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a number of things. I think for me, the crisis happened when I was called to do other things with my life. Like, it was like, but wait, what? Like, I don't want to do other things. I don't think I'm good at other things. This is all I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
Like, this is all I am.
Why
right?
we gotta do other shit?
Yeah.
They don't have to.
Right. But not doing other shit in my life was really causing problems at the time of, you know, this intersection.
You can't have atrophy at other parts of life.
Well, and like, I just wasn't making enough money to survive. It just kind of came down to that.
And even if you do strike it lucky as an artist, it's a little bit like the lottery. Because you're like, I have this show right now, and then you get imposter syndrome even, and you're like, wow, okay, but I am good enough. And even if you raise the challenge and you get the bag, it's probably temporary. It's not like a long season. And so it's like so many artists lack the professional perspective to know that they're a business and to invest your money, or at least not to blow up. But yeah, no one managed anything well at the time.
You raised such a good point too with the ups and downs. Like, I mean, anyone that's an artist that comes from our era, like, they grew up in the entertainment industry when it wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't have as much power.
Zero power.
Like, you had to go audition, or someone had to say
You had to be signed to get your shit out. Like in order to get your record out, you either had to hand that out or you had to be signed, right, for distribution. And so, like, if you come from that era, you understand that basically the music industry is its own mental illness. Like, it literally is up, down, like, that's the pattern. And that's still a pattern that I'm experiencing today, and maybe even recreating today, because it's what I know.
That's what we love. We were talking about, though, putting ourselves on the cross, because that's the same thing. We implement the same shapes we've been given, the programming and the ideas, and that's why it takes like new North Stars to shift. Like, okay, it was that dream, but instead of looking at, you know, but I've always looked at rappers like Jay-Z that built it themselves anyway. You know, so it's like same with Russ. Like right now, it's like, okay, you can't, and the music is the promotion.
Yes.
Like, everyone's worried about like dumping money in this other industry to bump their shit up. Either the tech industry with like kind of boosted perspective of like visibility, and like that's a way too. It's like kind of a new version of payola, but it's a little more legit, because at least you can target who you're aiming at. Where the radio station used to just tell you like, you know, 2 million listeners. It's like, but who are they?
Yeah.
So it's like, at least now the payola comes with a bit of data that you can like chase down and like focus on one, but you gotta get to like I did this shit just like for like for a decade.
Yeah.
And if you don't run out of gas, most people who I started with are not doing it anymore, and they run out of gas because you're like, nothing stuck to the wall. But it's like, but some people are making it around me.
Can I just tell you guys that I did a gig last night, and on my way there, I literally I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this gig. I wish that I could do anything else. I actually said that. I was like, if I could do anything else, but I can't. I'm like obsessed. Like, I need it. It's crazy. So I totally get the people who fall off, because if you can do other stuff,
do it.
You got to do it.
That's what we say.
And you have to do other stuff sometimes to survive. Yeah. So that's always a thing, but just
but it's a calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I relate to, that was actually so it was like, I can't give this up because it's feeding my soul, but I can't only do this because I'm not going to survive. Like, just
not
even
feeding your mouth.
Totally. And that's like, bro, even like if you're like living broke all the time, it's not just, life is hard because you're living broke. Like, it fucks with your mental health.
You
over
have
time.
to do more. You spend more RAM that you should be opening up to the creative inspiration of the universe, so you can give from your purpose. But your mind is having to penny pinch or or you get lost in like unpaid invoices and your lack mentality kicks in. So you're right. And
Totally.
No one can teach you just to stiffen up in tough times. No one can teach you that. You have to go through it and feel it. But I feel you on that calling though.
Yeah.
If it's like anything gets between me and ultimately doing this, even my own good, it's like, fuck it.
Yep.
I'll
yep.
steamroll anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah. I'll sacrifice anything.
It's
and-
fucked up.
That's why I believe in universal basic income. I don't know what it looks like. I know that there's flaws in it, but like if people were safe, I think we could rapidly evolve
Out of survival
mentally,
society?
Yeah.
Whoa, what a concept.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Everyone, whatever. We don't have to get into that, but okay, cool. So when we smoke, we're not smoking today on the pod. We're drinking our cannabis, but it's funny because
Slightly different high.
when people don't smoke on the pod and we do, like we'll tangent. Like we will.
I was tracking. Yeah, I'm dialed right now.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
we'll
good.
tangent off. So, but we do like to circle back, as you will.
No, yeah,
so,
yeah, I'm tracking, man.
you said something about when you don't have enough money, your mental health tanks. How long can one go, like, kind of roughing it out?
I don't know, man. I know that I hit a very serious breaking point, like to the point where I was suicidal. Like I was like, I don't want to go on like this anymore. And if this is what it looks like, I'm fucking out. And this is where it gets to the point where it's like, it's not about how tough you are or toughening up or pushing through or whatever. This is about like, this is no longer a quality of life and no one should fucking be living like this, So I think like it really depends where everybody's breaking point is, and I think like you can't really measure it because it's all relative to someone. If they have an earlier breaking point, it could be for a whole host of other reasons that don't exist in another person, vice versa. So like it's entirely individual, and I think like the goal is to not live like that at all. Like I don't think it's ever a good fucking idea. And frankly, like I do worry about this whole like trope of like the suffering and tortured artist that is continuously
Fuck that.
perpetuated.
Yeah.
It goes back dude, I like when I became an academic, I'm like, I'm gonna look into this shit.
Yeah.
And I like looked for peer-reviewed research and things, and it's a known thing that it's been going on for years, maybe even as far back as the medieval days, to suppress and control creatives. And it's still fucking happening.
Yeah.
Who are a creative, a person who are they to believe in their own value outside of the matrix set up in order to run a society?
Exactly.
It's too rebellious by spirit. If we cut them off at the not life force, because their heart is full, but cut them off at the life structure shape.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's just like coming from the hood too. People
Yep.
just have trap syndrome. For me,
Yep.
Up until half a decade ago, if I got the little bit of bag, I couldn't wait to get it down to zero again. It's just like I have
for sure.
trap syndrome.
For sure.
And I just
For
go
sure.
spend. You have $2,000 and you buy a $1,000 thing, and you're like, that's not wise.
We did.
Unless it's to help you get some more money.
Sure, but we can convince ourselves that too, right? But I like 100% relate to that.
It's
like
fucked up.
the money mindset thing, like since I started really applying myself to like just get into abundance mindset, like Abraham Hicks. Yeah.
Let's go. I
Dude,
sampled her in
every
the
day.
song that I dropped
Really?
today.
Shut up.
I sample her in like all of my music.
Yeah,
Abraham
we
Hicks.
Are you
love
fucking with
Esther.
me?
No, this is my guide. Like this is
No,
what
like I listen to her
listen-
my life is better and changed since the
Yeah.
day I started listening to her every morning.
I used to walk around LA and listen to Ask and It Is Given.
Hey, Win,
Yeah?
do you know what's really easy to do?
What?
Run a cannabis retail shop.
That is not correct.
You're right.
But do you know how a cannabis retail shop can make things easier on themselves?
Loyalty?
That's right, by using sticky cards.
What?
Sticky cards makes things easy for you. There's no apps, no papers. You're not stamping anything or punching anything.
Force people to remember something?
It's just a loyalty program that lives in your customer's e-wallet that you could send push notifications to.
Okay, so this is perfect. It sounds like I'm gonna open up a cannabis retail shop because that made everything easier.
So if you do, get sticky cards, because if you want loyalty that sticks, get sticky cards.
Hey, that was sick. You want loyalty that sticks? Get sticky cards.
until it penetrated my soul, and I understood what they call the native prayer, which is living in the existence of your wish fulfilled. So exactly, not only abundance mindset, but your whole auratic field is inviting a new abundance experience.
Right.
And then the hardest thing to get over is to actually give. So you have to push prosperity out the door, and it comes in the other way. But so many artists are like given a cracker and like hide it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's like that you will literally become not physically well if you're like always hiding. So it's like the push out the door. That's what I had to understand. But Abraham Hicks is my shit. I sample her in all of my songs.
That's nuts, man. I did not know that. I'm definitely. I need to do a lot more, like getting into my fellow peers' art, and I still need to come to one of your shows, man. I'm so sorry.
Don't be.
Moved away from Toronto before I got to you, but
Abraham Hicks, you know.
Yeah.
And Bashar.
If you know, you know.
Bashar.
I don't know if I know that person.
He's another channeler.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
They're very different, though. Like,
They're very different.
I feel like Bashar can sometimes maybe appease to more of a masculine conservative man.
Noted.
Whereas Abraham Hicks would not likely
She engages
get through.
compassion. Abraham Hicks has a very cute thing. It's like when you see a kid drop and they're learning to walk, you don't say, well, get up, you little dummy. Yes.
How many times have we heard that?
So much, because it's so
funny.
true, because it's like you're doing that to yourself. Like your higher being in your spirit, your mind playing the role as the observer, not quite the divine observer, but your fourth dimensional mind looking down on yourself is like, you fucking idiot, you didn't nail it your first try.
Yeah.
You're literally doing that. Imagine if you had a little niece in front of you, she's learning to walk, you'd never say that. So Abraham Hicks, she engages compassion with yourself, where Bashar's
and she
like,
just gives me like the best, like I don't see it until I hear her. You know, like I don't have the perspective. Not all the time. I got to give myself a little bit of a credit, but like she'll just say something almost every day, and I'll be like, oh yeah, like it's like I'm waking up. Every day.
Like, oh right, I'm like worthy of every desire my heart could ever encompass. There's nothing in the way of that but my fucking umbrella. Like, let me pull that down and let it rain. Like, honestly, like it's like we are inherently good, we are inherently worthy, we are worthy because we are, and like it's only the fucking social construct that has convinced us otherwise.
Measurement and counting details and comparison. And the Matrix is built on it because it's trying to emulate the divinity where everything is relative to itself. But in the divinity of nature and consciousness, the relevancy is inspiration. Whereas in the Matrix, the relevancy is comparative and down and makes one better than the other.
Interesting. Okay, I caught the second thing that you said. Can you repeat the first thing you said in terms of the relevancy and
consciousness to relevancy? Your spirit meeting my spirit. Oh, you've endured this and manifested it into an alchemized book. That inspires me. Okay, cool. And then I want to do the same. Whereas, like, if you look at it like the Matrix perspective of it, it would be like, how many book sales versus mine, right? As opposed, like, so those are the two different perspectives I was exploring.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, I think that's a really like beautiful way to frame it. That like the relevancy when you're actually aligned with source energy or like the vortex or whatever, it's actually just about inspiration and like springboarding off each other versus the material world. It's like it's so scarce and it's like this fight. Competition basically.
Yeah, it's silly, but it's, I don't know, it can drive. Sometimes it's like masculine, feminine. Abraham helped me get a hold on that too. Working from the divine feminine or the divine masculine. Like not condemning your mind state when it goes into logistics, because it's like, we have both for a reason. Right. Like feminine being feeling and masculine being logistic.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a good maybe segue to talking about the shadow self, which I feel like you might be an expert on.
I don't know about that. Oh my God, I could never claim I'm an expert, but it's certainly something I've delved into quite a bit. It's interesting because when I first wrote this material, it was like 2017-ish, and what I was doing is I was writing a program for artists to help them overcome anxiety and stage fright and help them, like increase their self-worth, etc. And then it really didn't turn into a book until about maybe 2022 when I decided, let me take all this like written material and all these philosophies and put it into a book. And then that took obviously several years to make a book. But what's interesting is at the time of me going through my own process of overcoming anxiety and stage fright, well, let's say managing those things, because you don't ever get rid of fear. We're humans.
Management,
Whoa.
baby. That's right.
Mindful management. Sick. That's so gangster. Well done. You're right.
So
They don't go away.
yeah, like my whole thing with this material was it was a process that I went through myself. And so it's like a blueprint. Like, here's the thing that helped me. Like, I'm passing on this blueprint kind of thing. But it wasn't until like more recent years when I started to really dive into Jung from like an academic level, where I was like, holy fuck, this is actually shadow work. Like, this is all about facing and embracing your shadow. It wasn't a thing that I intended to, like, it wasn't the lens I intended to look through, but upon studying his point of view, I'm like, oh, this is exactly what this book is. So I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but certainly somehow it's called to me to look through that lens, and somehow that's kind of how my words came out.
Carl showed up and adjusted another perspective.
Yeah, right?
And now you
This
are doing
guy-
the same.
No, that's
It's Carl Sagan. That was
Sagan,
Carl.
yeah.
Oh.
Carry on. There's a couple things that I want to ask you, but I think something that's come up for us recently is we have a hard time letting our shadow self live and being like a good human, like a good, respectful human at the same time. And what can you touch on that?
Shit, I hope so. Okay, so from Jung's perspective, the unconscious, like the shadow, right? It encompasses shame and pain and fear and sort of these unconscious, primitive sort of motivations and whatnot. And from his perspective, like, our goal as humans is to simply shine light on that. It's to shine light on shadows. It's to be aware of what's happening underneath it all. If we don't, oftentimes what happens is then it does come out sideways. It does come out in, as you just in your words, like
Passive
being a
aggressive.
bad person or whatever.
A monster.
But like,
Killer.
to shine light on shadows isn't necessarily like a perfect process, right? Like it's okay, first let me recognize, like, I have shame around this thing or whatever. Let me work with that shame. Let me, in a titrated, little by little way, let me integrate that experience into my consciousness so that it doesn't have to be this thing that I have to bury in the shadows anymore.
So what does that integration look like?
Yeah. Great question. So let me think about, like, okay, so here's a weird example, and people listening, if they're a younger generation than us, like, it's not going to seem like insane to them, or it's going to seem insane to them, because mental health just became a discussion literally like 5 minutes ago.
The fact that we have language for this.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that a 10-year-old is being like, my anxiety is acting up, blows my mind.
Totally. And also, like, there's a lot to unpack with that. But,
Yeah.
like, so it's like, once upon a time, I was afraid to cry in front of my significant other. Like, I just didn't cry in front of people, right? And again, that seems insane to people that don't know what it meant to, like, not have vulnerability be this, like, common, like, colloquial word or whatever.
I can't believe you cry at all.
Yeah, right. In front of people, like, negative. But, so, like, I'm trying to think of how this could be, like, a metaphor. So, like, my fear of crying in front of, let's say, my boyfriend was linked to, like, if I cry, I am completely at the mercy of that person seeing how weak I am, right? Like, I am fucking weak, and I am, prone and primed to be abandoned if I actually show that emotion
If
to
they
someone
don't
else.
accept it.
If they don't accept it, but that's, in your head, they're already not going to accept it, right? Like, you're already, like, vibing with, like, I am going to get abandoned.
Oh, man. And then it's like, why even cry? Just dip.
Yeah, exactly.
just dip now,
Let me
yeah.
just shut down. You know
Fuck
what I
you
mean?
guys.
Yeah. So that piece, right? To, like, sort of explore what's underneath the I won't cry action is the feeling.
There it is.
Yeah.
The investigation.
Yeah. Like,
Curious.
It's curious. It's let me be mindful. Let me sit with myself. Let me actually ask myself questions. Like,
tiring.
what is that for you, little Janey? Like,
Yeah.
were you, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
what's
How was
going
your
on?
childhood?
Yeah, come. let's have a hug and, like, sit and hug this out, and
Hug your
see.
inner child inside.
Yeah.
I had to do mushrooms first time. I realized I was just a little angry bear. And my friend was like, why are you mad at him? And I'm like, I don't know, he keeps fucking up. She's like, why don't you give him a hug? And I did, and then I could just feel like a part of me. It was crazy.
It's
Never hugged
insane.
him before.
It's insane.
We always condemn those parts of us, the weak parts.
Well, and like I want to add that a lot of people think that what's in the shadows are like these monsters that want, like, you know, we were just joking just a few seconds ago. Like we are like, oh, the shadows, it's this dark thing. It wants to kind of like fuck us up and take us out and stuff.
Or others.
Or others, right? But it's actually oftentimes the things that are hidden in our shadows are these really small and innocent and broken pieces of ourselves,
Yes.
just looking for a need to be met. And it's us ignoring that need that then creates some other reaction and impulse for them to act out. It's the inner critic and the self-doubt that want to take us out. And they have a reason to be here too, right? We need them to protect us in actual life and death threat. But the parts of us in the shadows are often these ashamed, you know, childlike needs that are up to us to serve.
Yo, that was so sick. Big facts. That's a clip.
I think I totally feel
bless.
like resonance with that. I think like maybe, and I'm speaking for myself, but a little bit for both of us, like when we're investigating the shadow, maybe there's more layers than we've come to at this present moment, and we want to like find solutions. Like we don't want to like sit, like not necessarily sit with the feeling.
I
We
wanna
want
fix
to
it.
like,
Yes.
like okay, now we know that it's like my ego.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
fix
yeah.
my ego now or whatever,
I'm
right?
a little
Yeah,
autistic
that's
about
interesting.
it.
So maybe like,
Very
maybe
pragmatic.
it takes a little, sometimes the investigation won't maybe lead you all the way.
Okay, that is such a powerful recognition, because there's a time for doing and a time for being, right? And we often do even when we're trying to be, right? Like
So much.
technically like when you're just sitting down doing nothing, that is like you being technically, right? Like even just mind wandering. But like kind of everything else is an act of doing. Like journaling is doing, cleaning is doing, exercising is doing, having a mindful reflection is technically doing. It's not a negative doing, but we're constantly kind of doing. And I think there's something to be said about when you're doing a, you know, introspective, sit in stillness, get really quiet, create an intention to listen, to allow things to surface. There is there's a big component of surrender. Like I talk about this in my book. You just simply have to be present and accept the moment over and over and over again without the need to, this is this pain, I'm going to turn that into like this epic podcast episode or whatever. Or like,
You're living in one of those thoughts. We are in one of those.
right, exactly, right? Totally. It's
You
like,
are a symbol of that.
no, but like same, right? Like I still do this, like for sure, like there'll be a moment where it's like, oh fuck, and you're like brought to your knees. And then the next reflex is like, how can I turn this into like a fucking Instagram post?
Well, an artist.
Oh my God. I have
want
to
to-
interrupt because I've had a moment
yeah.
where I was in an Uber holding back tears, looking out the window. It was crying outside. I'm really feeling these emotions.
It was crying outside.
It was raining outside.
She said the earth was crying
And then there was
outside.
part of me in my brain that was like, this is going to be really good for acting
yeah,
class.
right.
It
right.
was nuts.
Right.
I was like, how can you even think that
No,
right
but
now? You
it's-
psycho.
Dude, it's not psycho. It's so conditioning. And like he said, like it's an artist thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we're constantly figuring out how to sublimate. Like as a child, if you have a really intense whatever around you, let's say environment, there's trauma, there's arguing, whatever, you learn, or some people create, you know, they have these defense mechanisms that turn them into our narcissists, or some have the stronger defense mechanism of denial. Some sublimate. That the defense mechanism to survive is to take all of your experience and turn it into something, whether it be sports or art or
I
a
was that
fucking
one.
fantasy,
I was
right?
that one.
Boy.
Like,
I'm that one.
so it's not a like fucked up thing you're doing. It's a totally natural thing you're doing as an artist / me too / you
God
too.
bless.
Like,
Yeah.
Alchemizing,
Same
I
vibe.
feel, is you take your pain and and flip it, because especially just like being a funny person,
Right.
like in life, like I consider you funny, like who'd make a cherry, you know, and it's because sitting in pain sucks so much.
It does.
It's like, I know the darkness, and it's like when you come from like layer up on layer up on layer, as you mentioned a couple of that, and you're like, well, I could just give up and die, or like fully submit to that lifestyle, like go be a gangster, or fucking choose to laugh at this and choose to do something about it, like write rhymes, right, or sports. You're right, and that's just, it's so helpful. I feel like that's God. I feel like music reached into my life like a God, like it was an opportunity to like, this is what you're supposed to do. Because like your spirit, you mentioned this earlier, your spirit's not really jiving with these other things, you know, like academia, or like none of this shit makes sense, and like the guidance wasn't there. So it's like, you literally have this path,
right,
and that's what you can alchemize through. So it's like, why would we ever part from that? It felt like safety. It felt like I don't have to hurt.
And it was probably survival too, right? I mean, at least for me, it was. It was this mechanism of like, this is how I'm going to survive. This is how I'm going to make it out of this really traumatic and turbulent environment, right? And I think it's a bit of both and in my perspective. Like, it's, okay, sublimation, especially as children in a volatile environment, like that can help you transcend, it can help you survive, it can create really wonderful things. But as an adult, if we rely on that, it still is just another defense mechanism against the truth of what's going on inside of you and your shadows.
But Janey, someone else hurt me. It's not my fault to deal with this.
Yeah. So yeah,
sick.
That's what I was kind of gonna ask. Like, the self-help.
The music is good though.
Yes, can be for sure.
Yeah. There's Tom Segura has this crazy sketch. Do you know Tom Segura? He's a comedian.
Probably if I saw his face.
Yeah, he has this great crazy sketch about a country singer that ends up like kidnapping his fans and bringing them all into a town where he'll then torture them. So he has things to like write about.
Whoa.
Yeah, like it's a wild.
That's so wild.
It's really dark.
Is it a real story?
No,
I just had the
Jesus
same thought.
Christ.
I had the same thought, and then I remembered her saying blah 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 comedy bit, and I was like, oh yeah,
it's a comedy
Jesus.
sketch, but
Robert
it's so
Picton.
fucking dark. It's crazy.
that is wild.
So is there? I was gonna ask you, like, because you know when anything becomes popular, it becomes diluted.
Yeah,
potentially.
in the West especially.
Yeah,
where
so-
everything's capitalistic.
So
right?
like, is there a time when mindfulness is not beneficial?
Very, very insightful question. Actually, no one's asked me that, and I do add a little caveat in my book about this because I think it's under talked about. But so when you have PTSD or complex PTSD is the relational version of PTSD, basically. When you have those and they are impacting your life and your experience in a major way, like you're prone to traumatic flashbacks, etc. Mindfulness can actually be more activating, like it can send you into a traumatic flashback if it's done at the wrong time. It can, double down on grief, double down on someone who's depressed. It can up spiral someone's anxiety. Like it can actually emphasize the very thing you're going through, but in a way that you don't need it to be emphasized.
Right.
Now I'm talking about mindfulness meditation specifically. Like I think it's always good to be mindful. Like as best we can, it's only going to help us and therefore the world, the more awareness we have of ourselves. But to practice mindfulness, that is to sit in stillness and observe your physical, emotional, and mental dispositions, that is often good. But if you're in a place where you're already overwhelmed and not able to manage your emotions, it's probably not for the best. Like maybe try to do it for a minute, but maybe actually like do a creative visualization or like go for a walk or breathe or something. So I say like we have to be mindful about when we practice mindfulness because not everything is all or nothing.
Yeah.
Even what I just said is not every,
I feel you though. So what I'm hearing from that, and I agree. Sorry, I want you to rebuttal Winnie or say whatever, but what I'm hearing is sometimes it's not time to slow down. Mm-hmm. Sometimes because the mental visualization too, it starts to bring the torque forward as opposed to, you're right, if if you don't have the recipe or the tools to implement that new awareness or escape those grief patterns, I totally agree with that. It's not always time to slow down.
Yeah, like you're plummeted into the depth of an ocean that you haven't learned to navigate. I think, and like maybe slowing down is okay, but you just do it in a different way, right? Like you don't necessarily slow down only with you and your thoughts without any tools.
Yes.
Maybe you slow down on a walk or like visiting nature or with a friend or breathing or.
Because
like,
I preach and I identify meditation the same as you, it's just sitting in stillness, because I know there's a lot of flow things or meditative processes or walks, as you said, or people are like, I'll play my guitar. I'm like, that's cool. But even if it's muscle memory, you're still like doing something, and that can be very healing in one of those. But I do often with the iron fist preach meditation, like the classic sit still version. And you're right, that's actually very... that's eye-opening for me, to be like, maybe it's not the right time actually for everyone to take that on.
Yeah, or at least that type of meditation,
Yes.
right? Like, and I think like, yeah, it's one of those where it's nuanced, it's up to the person. Like, I
Right.
certainly don't want to make people think, well, because this is the other thing that happens, right? With meditation, people will always or often have resistance. And so they'll make up things like, oh, well, I'm just too overwhelmed. I don't want to like have it spiral.
It's up to them,
Yeah,
because it's like,
yeah.
honestly, bro, you fucking do need to sit down.
Yeah. Like we're talking
most
about
times.
like heavy trauma or like
Yeah.
serious grief or depression or like serious like anxiety.
Flashbacks. We
Flashbacks,
had
yeah.
a gentleman who was in the army who was a sniper on, and I'm like, if you're having visualizations of someone's watermelon exploding, you may not want to sit and see that 64 times a second.
Definitely.
So I feel you on that. There's different levels to this. But for your average person in their like 9-to-5 life that's like, I just have anxiety because I'm catching this guy train to the baseball game and fucking I hate everyone. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
You should meditate.
Yeah. Like just when you think you can't because you're too busy is the exact moment you need to.
Ugh.
You know, like
Bars.
dead ass.
Bars. Yes.
I definitely get frustrated with people when they tell me they can't do something because they're not good at it.
Totally.
Because
of course you're not good at
like
it.
adults have no like tolerance anymore to learn something,
for error.
because it's hard. It's like harder to like, I don't know, we maybe had open minds as a kid or something. I don't really know why it's easier to learn as a kid. Maybe you're just taking it all in so quickly. But like meditation is one of those things where they're like, oh yeah, I'm not good at it, so I don't do it. I'm like, bro, you have to do it for like 6 months before you
discipline.
get good at it.
Minimum, man. Minimum. I swear to God, like I've been doing it since I was a child. You probably read that part in my book. And like, it still is a fucking battle to just turn my mind off. Like my mind is a child. It always will be. Like, that's the point. Like, the point isn't, oh, I'm going to do this because I'm good at clearing thoughts, which also isn't a thing. It's, I'm going to do this because I'm a human being, and human beings are bad at that. That's what builds resilience, right? Like, that's what builds the actual skills.
It
you know?
thinks it
Yeah.
knows. Your ego,
Yes.
the mind, is like, listen, once we, okay,
Yeah.
whatever, once we, it'll all be fine.
Yeah.
And we won't ever
Totally,
need to
dude.
sleep again. You'll never have to meditate.
You'll be loved forever.
And this is the devil's juice.
Yes.
Like, this is the little evil part of the brain that tries to, like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
And it's a lie.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, absolutely. And I hear that often too. It's like, oh, I like can't sit still. It's like, welcome to being human. Yeah. That's the point, you know? Like, and I wonder too if it's not that they actually think they're bad at it. They just don't want to do it. Like, it's maybe less about like, I'm bad at it and more about I just don't want to do it. Like,
It's like when two people see each other from high school after 10 years and they're like, let's grab coffee.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
then you never will. It's
Yeah.
like their excuse is like, yeah, I'm just bad at it.
Yeah,
you know?
bad at
but
catching
But it's
up,
actually,
yeah.
I just don't want to.
yeah.
That's how much
yeah.
you want it, though. But
Yeah.
you have to want it. So I remember on the other side of as a male, hello, male here, identify as a male. 25, my brain's finished forming.
Yes.
Right. So then it was like it was on. It was like I was 26. I was like. Abraham Hicks, Bob Proctor, Think and Grow Rich. Like, oh my God, like I gotta wake up here and figure out some money or something. You know, like I dropped out of high school, dude. So it was like about a decade, you know, of like swinging blindly and reading all that stuff. And meditation was
the through line.
The thing that was like, they're all like, you want to get bagged up, well, you got to figure out your purpose. Like, if you don't want to be a slave and bag up, you want to do it through your own heart. You have to figure out who the fuck you are in order to give that gift properly. And they didn't tell me I was going to have to work for another 10 years to fucking refine that gift.
Yeah, right,
assholes.
right.
But anyway, I probably wouldn't have done it, so I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what it was. For me, there was like, hey, everything you want probably on the other side of this. So it took me 2 years to meditate, and I started with a 1 minute guided meditation, 2 minute. You said you started young.
Yes.
And okay, women, y'all got it all over us about the mental development, so congrats. So
Little
maybe
bit
that was
earlier.
part of it.
Ours is like 18 to 21, I think.
Yeah, but also like PS, like you just said that you got into all the whatever the money mindset stuff at 25. Like I was a hot mess throughout my 20s. Like you started earlier than me when it comes to like, because I had meditation in my back pocket. It was something that I was taught as a child. I had this spiritual mentor that's still part of my life, and so like I was lucky in that sense. But
You were guided. That was my question.
but
I
there
just
was-
talked about myself to ask you. Is to say like, how did you start? I was saying, because that was my thing on the other side of it, that I like wanted to get through to cause my body to do the discipline of meditation. Then you realize the third eye opens and your spine and your chakras. But you had guidance early, right? So were you feeling all of the things that you feel in meditation now with your kind of, I assume, more metaphysical self-awareness? Like, were you guided into that early? And if you want to say by who, or you don't have to, but like, what was that process like, and how young?
okay, so the question was, do I feel the same?
Did
then?
you feel engaged? Like, now I'm assuming your third eye has
Okay.
decalcified and can open now if you're in that space for long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
were you in it?
Okay, I mean, there's so much to unpack with that. So, one possible theory is that, okay, so depends on why you're meditating and which stage of development you're at as a person, right? I'm just going to say my opinion.
So
now.
you were a teenager.
I was 13. And this was not because I was like, I want to meditate. It was that my mom had been doing it for years, and she was going to see this guy, and just by like osmosis, she was talking about it and I was learning. So I was exposed to it, right? And my dad also studied Zen Buddhism, so like
Blueprinted.
I was just exposed to different, orientations. So that kind of like, I guess, became the norm, and then it just made sense that I would then start practicing eventually, right? And especially this guy was in my life too. But in terms of like, so it's interesting because when I started, I would actually go into much deeper meditations than I do now. But there's like a possible theory around that, right? It's like, one, you could say, oh, was that because I was a child and I didn't have as much stress, and maybe.
Or it felt deeper because it was new.
Felt deeper because it was new. Or there's this other theory that meditation, especially if you're going into like deeper and deeper layers of consciousness, right? Like it's not just I'm sort of awake here and
With
still
my eyes closed.
Yeah, like it's like you go quite deep. There's something to be said about the goal being to bridge the gap between those deeper layers of consciousness and this realm, right? The material realm. Yes. And so it's possible that the depth doesn't go as deep because it's trying to merge the two together.
Your baseline is higher.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that. I don't know if that's true about me.
I think that's true 100%.
That makes a lot of sense. You
know?
also have a
Because-
lot of ideas manifested and crystallized as a human to drop down to that 0 point level to
Right.
then go deeper into consciousness too. You're further away from the surface.
Yeah, right. And so maybe the more self-aware you become, it's almost like the like material realm and the deeper consciousness are like coming to, they're like integrated.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. I like it. It feels right in my body. I think it's true. And it also makes me feel like
You're a
I'm not
delight.
doing something wrong, because when I first really got into those like deeper realms, I was high.
Your
dude.
ego
I
got
was,
excited
like-
when you came back.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, right.
like,
Same.
oh my God, that was insane. Like,
I'm
I've
a
never
monk.
experienced anything like that. Like, not even on drugs, just like,
Totally.
just
I made
inhale
it.
and exhale.
I
Like,
made it.
it was crazy. Like, I felt like I was somewhere else. Like, when Joe Dispenza says, like, nothing,
Yes.
you are nothing, nowhere, no one.
Yes.
Like, that's what it felt like, but like in the most loving way. And so I don't hit that as
Yeah.
very often.
Yeah.
I haven't actually hit it in like a year probably. Maybe
Oh,
over
bro.
a year.
The last couple
And
weeks, I've just been mechanical.
I think it's because the gap is closing.
It's very possible. And I think like a big thing for me that's helped me with that, because it just feels like for me, I just like feel like such a failure all the time. Like I can't do it anymore. Like fucking like what's her, like Krista from Fern Gully. Like, why can't I do it? Like for me, bro, for me, it's like, okay, just fucking sitting in the chair and having the intention to do it is the habit.
The win. Yes.
Like just it's all about self-acceptance and compassion anyway. So you have to take whatever comes your way. Like us insisting that it be a certain way is going against the will of like a higher purpose, right? And you know what's interesting? I want to say this too, because certain people are like, you know, when you went deep and you were like knocked out, like how do you know that wasn't sleeping? And I'm like, I am an insomniac, okay? I struggle with sleep so hardcore to the point where like I have to take stuff for it sometimes, right? Like not cannabis.
Yeah.
And it's like for me to like imagine that I could be a person that could just fall asleep ad hoc, there's no chance, man. So like that's how I know the difference, because I can't. Like people are like, do you ever take naps? And I'm like, no, I would really love that. Unless I'm like very sick, like I'm not able to take a nap, you know? Like, so for me, like that's how I know.
And like I also can sleep. I'm like almost narcoleptic, I'm pretty sure. Like I can sleep pretty much anywhere, anytime. And also I know the difference as well. Like it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Like,
if you put it in science, it's like the difference between the brain frequencies of like theta and and delta.
Yeah.
But honestly, the creative, fun, cartoonish, feminine, divine way to look at it is you connect through the ego, through silence, to the mind, the higher observing operational manager of your life, and then he runs out, or she runs out, or they run out, whatever you have in your mind, they run out eventually if you sit through it. And then even though your ego and mind are still online, like your body, you're aware that you're breathing, you know, somehow then you make it to spirit. And that's different than falling asleep right into spirit.
Right.
Because I think that's how they can say, well, weren't you just asleep? Weren't you just
you're
with
taking
the
a slower
subconscious?
elevator ride.
Yeah, you know, you're not taking the elevator at all. You got to take the steps with fucking meditation.
Yeah.
So you're going kung kung, kung kung. And I think most people, God bless, not being a dick, don't think I'm better than you. I was probably worse off than you to start. That ego tells me, hey, we're good. No. That thing, it's still their fault. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can't let go, right? Your spirit doesn't want to let go of like, oh, but I built this. I'm fucking hot. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're in your I have a job. I got a wife. You know, like all this shit that you're like, I'm killing it. I have a car. You probably have a car even. Congrats. You know, and then you get into the mind, right? So it's like, you know the difference, because when you fall to sleep, you don't have to go through any of that shit.
Yeah, right.
You fall to sleep, you're just like with spirit. You're like, thank you, I've died. I'll come back later.
Right.
You know, but like that meditation is the hard route, the stairs up, and you have to let those things go. So I don't know the work you did to be able to do that, but congratulations.
Well, I think we're all doing the work, and I have by no stretch have it mastered. Like this book, like cool that I wrote it, but like I'm very much in the process with everyone else.
You can learn from yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's never done.
No,
you know?
it really isn't.
Yeah.
Which is fun and also like just sometimes annoying.
It's exactly that. It's like precisely those words.
Sometimes annoying.
Yeah.
It's fun, but just when it's not annoying, it's cool. But when it's
Physical discipline, though, am I right? You met at the yoga studio.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get this guy under control unless I do something for this. I said do pause. Okay, but you know what I mean? Like, did you found that too? Have you always been physically engaged?
Yeah, I was I started out in gymnastics, and I did that very, very short amount of time there. I did like one competition. I was like, I'm out. And then I got into kickboxing when I was like 10 or 11.
Oh, sick.
And did that for, I guess, like 8 years until I got my black belt. And then...
Whoa, you don't fuck with Janey in these streets, bro.
Relax. This is... My sensei always said, your black belt covers 1 inch of your ass. It's up to you to cover the rest. Meaning, if you stop training, then like good luck to you kind of thing.
Best fight is the one that never happens.
Yes, seriously. Like, amen to that. Yeah. So yeah, and then like I went on to teach fitness for a number of years. Then I taught yoga for a number of years, and so for sure, there's always been this like physical element. Even before getting into sports and stuff, it was just I was always running around and just loving that. But it's interesting. I used yoga as a way to disassociate from my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can I hear more of this?
Yeah, sure. Like, ultimately, anything you can use can also be abused.
Yo, straight up, because you see drug addicts go from coke to fucking Jackville in like 6 months because I'm just obsessive.
Yeah.
And they have 4 necks now.
Well, and I like, oh God, with addiction, it's such a whole other ballgame. It's such a process. And so I have so much compassion for people that are just trying to fucking, okay, let me at least not do coke anymore. Like what,
Yeah, give you the reps.
Yeah. But for me, like I hadn't gone through any trauma healing when I was coaching. I wasn't in therapy. It was like pre all of any understanding even anything about myself. And so I would, sometimes I would teach like 17 classes a week and do every single posture. And like, it was a way for me to just, push beyond.
Zone out.
That's it. Just disassociate,
Wow. That's cool.
Well,
I know
what you're saying.
I mean
so
your awareness.
terrible.
You're aware. No, it's like it could literally hurt yourself. Like don't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's cool that you now live with the awareness that that's a potential, because a lot of people think like you can never make too much money. You can never go to the gym too much.
Societally, people will cheer you on when
That's right.
you're breaking yourself.
That's right. That's right.
You could be anorexic and
I was just gonna go there too with the eating. Yeah, like for sure. Like some of the thinnest I've ever been. People like, wow, look at your body.
Congratulations.
Like, I wasn't eating that day. Like you don't understand. Like and sometimes by choice and sometimes not by choice.
Yeah.
Like so much anxiety that I was like, I'll eat a bite of a peach just so I don't die.
Anxiety just takes your whole shit, like your whole central nervous system, because we look like a tree.
Yeah.
And also, like, millennials are a fucking trip, dude. Like, we grew up in such a trippy time where, like, we decided for the first time that we were gonna, like, feel our feelings, but also we, like, didn't know how to do that at all.
But look, someone gave us social media. Why don't you write a post and tell us how you feel?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Just set up the camera over there, have a meltdown over here,
Yeah.
edit later.
Blow up like next week.
Totally. I did a YouTube series in my 20s called Bath Time Tuesdays, and I became like the little audience that I grew. They would call me a ray of sunshine, and I became this really positive person before I did any healing either, before I explored any of that. And I was just like, yeah, life is positive, and we always just have to be positive.
Right.
And I could only do it for a year because it wrecked me.
Totally.
Because I was outside of the show, I was depressed and like
Yeah.
dealing with panic attacks and like all of these things. And the more I was given this title of like happy, the more I didn't feel happy at all.
Totally. Yeah, because it's not human, right? Like it's like happiness perfectionism or something. Like anything that we insist on having perfect, regardless of the subject, it's gonna lead to that type of
so
outcome.
much pressure.
So much pressure. And like me too, and just me too all day, with all of it. Like, that sounds
it's
intense.
nicer to be here with words and tools. I'm very happy to be here with words and
She's
tools
getting
and
them
therapies.
She's studying.
I know. Are you going to
psychology.
become a therapist?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Help
I
some
mean,
other souls out with this shit.
shit, man. I mean, at very least, I'll have more ability to. It comes through all of your work, right? Like, even if I don't have my own full-on, full-time practice, like I'll definitely take on some clients, but it just the training itself informs how to be a better listener and person and help like not jump to so much advice all the time, like unsolicited coaching and shit. Like, it's just like, how can I just show up for another human better? That's what psychotherapy training did. So and obviously there's tons of academic like armor that it equips you with, and
Oh,
that's helpful.
yeah.
You know.
Tools and processes.
Yeah, and also just like the bullshit that's circulating around, you can kind of be like, well, actually, you know, like this is sort of the evidence behind narcissism or whatever, instead of like these colloquial sort of uses of psychological terms and stuff, like,
Right.
Because that shit's out of control right
It
now.
really is.
You know?
I feel like some Gen Z's got a hold of the narcissism word, and TikTok blew up, and
Yeah.
everybody knows that like one immediate family member is a narcissist.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, because my
Well-
dad didn't make me pancakes. He's a narcissist.
Is there
I can't
stats
believe
there?
it.
Are there narcissists? in
Yeah,
a
what
lot
are
of
the actual
households?
things?
I actually don't know the stats of like
She hasn't been in every
the
household.
population of like narcissists per household. There, it'd be easy enough to find like what's the population in the West, like what because
What does it look like? I'm sorry, because
narcissism is in all of us. That's a fact. It's just a scale, right? Like, it's kind of like autism. Like, it's, you
Yes.
know, where are you at in the scale? Is it malleable? Is it, you know, malignant? Is it, oh, this is just like the regular person dose of narcissist up and down? Because it's attached to like an egoic structure that's trying to keep you alive, right? It's when it's a narcissistic personality disorder that it's an issue. Similar to anxiety. People can experience anxiety here and there. It doesn't mean it's an anxiety disorder, though, right? Depression, same thing. So there's a difference between the disorder element and just sort of regular narcissism. It would be easy enough to find this stat on like what percentage of the population in the West, let's say, is, you know, diagnosed with narcissistic, verifiable narcissistic personality disorder. I'm sure that's online.
Yeah.
You know, with personality disorders, it doesn't seem to be as high as, you know, things like bipolar and schizophrenia, super, super low. But anxiety and the experience of anxiety is like the most prevalent. So when we're looking at like the symptoms and the experience,
Stop watching the news. Sorry.
yeah, actually, though, probably.
That's
right?
what's happening. Period. Sorry.
Yeah,
Continue.
like, you know, have some type of mindfulness around
They're
whatever
measuring
you
it.
watch.
Marketers cause it. I can tell you, most campaigns are built off of fear. Stop watching the news.
Yeah,
Continue.
that's true, right? That's
This is
true.
how you sell people on things.
Yeah, no, well, and then exactly, like getting into like scarcity and all of that, right? Like
It's how you solve problems on the surface. You go up
Yeah.
to someone. It's the best business thing in the. Oh, I see your problem. I'll solve it. Pay
Sure,
me.
yeah.
Are people with narcissist disorders bad?
Why would you say bad? I don't think anyone's really bad.
I think it's the
a very
only
good
disorder
question.
that I've ever heard of that has people are less patient with
Yeah.
narcissists.
Yeah. So what does it
very
look
good
like? What does
question.
narcissism look like?
Yeah, so there in the DSM-5, which again is accessible to everybody, there's like a criterion that you follow to go like, is this person a narcissist in a personality disorder way, or are they not, right? With narcissists, the reason that it's tough for people to have patience and compassion for them is because part of the personality disorder hurts others. Right? Like, and any one of these personality disorders or mood disorders can, of course, have the person that's experiencing it hurt others. If it's, you know, if it's not, you know, managed or whatever, anybody can hurt anybody without a personality disorder. But with narcissism, because it's so self-focused, there is a big sort of component or characteristic of them really taking advantage of others. It's just part of how that disorder works. And, you know, if you're actively engaged with someone who is a narcissist, whether it be a partner, a family member, or what have you, it's so much harder to have compassion because it's this ongoing suffering. It's this ongoing, you know, abuse or you know, oppression or whatever it is. And narcissistic behavior can scale from like super harmful to just like, you know, toxic but okay, I'm going to survive as the person experiencing it. But if you're still actively engaged, you're living with them, or you're in a dynamic where you can't really escape it, it's really, really hard to have compassion. So I think probably what's happening is a lot of people are in this dynamic, they don't know how to get out, and they're just sort of like, they're blaming because they don't know what else to do to survive themselves. But narcissism forms arguably from trauma, right? In a way that helps the person experiencing the unescapable traumatic experience, repeated traumatic experience usually, it helps them protect their own brain against themselves from processing it so that they can survive. And then what happens is there's like a moat around their own consciousness and self-awareness, and they can't cross it because it's too.
But they built it.
They built it, but not consciously. It's this thing that happened as the brain developed and as the personality developed. It's a very tricky one, and if it's a little more benign, there can be progress made. With malignant, like I'm not going to say never say never, but like, they're
on a roll.
There's progress that can be made with,
Nice.
but yeah, it's a very challenging disorder. It hurts a lot of people.
Do you think that there's like technology? I don't know how much you know about this. I'm just honestly curious.
Can
like,
we zap them out of it?
Yeah, like, is there going to be technology that can like lobotomize these disorders out of people?
I mean, I don't know. Like, my understanding is that it's part of the personality, right? Like, it's not sure. Like, any part of our experience can be physical in that when you're a child and you're in your developmental years, your experience is being encoded into the physical matter of your brain as it grows, right? Whoa. But that's plastic. That's plastic for in a lot of ways, like our neuroplasticity.
We can change.
So
it.
we can change.
Okay, that's good news.
That's good news.
But so like
right.
to your question about like, can we zap them out of it? It's like, I guess it's like, what does zap them out of it mean? Like, would that be like a mechanism that just addresses like the physical brain and the neurology there, or is it could it be related to cognition? Because the cognition and like the personality and the way that we are in the world is different than like how you could potentially work on a brain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to like zap them out of it, it'd be like, well, what is the part of the physical brain that's being addressed that then relates to the cognition and around the personality?
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
It's better to work
so
with.
You wouldn't know where to zap.
I wouldn't know where to zap. I know
Yeah.
that much.
Also, sometimes with changing the mechanics, even give the people the tools to function in the new way.
There would have to be
Like it's like a mental forward.
It's
focus.
not just a zap and you're out in the world again. It's like a zap plus.
Thank you for sharing
the
that clinical
therapies.
insight with
Oh,
us.
I mean,
This is all just we're
it's conceptual
Or whatever.
clinical. There's
Conceptual.
some background, but
Well,
we're conceptual.
it's more academic than we would have ever said those words. So thank you.
I know I speak for both of us when I can say this conversation has been so fun so far, and we could probably go for like 2 more hours, honestly, because I'm really like thrilled and feeling good inside my
1,000%.
body.
I just want to ask you a couple more questions.
No, I know. And I also want to ask you if there's something more that you want to talk about or plug or anything like that before we start to wrap things up.
You're such a delight.
I echo everything you just said. It's been super fun to chat, and it's a
the
really,
vibe is high
really
right
good
now.
it's the vibe is high.
God bless.
Naturally high.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we are
Just
naturally
the-
high and synthetic.
Yeah,
high.
exactly. Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah.
What do you love?
Oh.
I love the ocean.
Oh, buddy,
Yeah.
same. You ever hear the whales in the ocean?
I haven't experienced it being under there yet, but
Oh my God.
It sounds like it's majestic.
It makes me cry.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
I
I had
couldn't
to take
handle
my
it.
head out
Did
of it.
you go like yourself when in?
I don't need to go that far in. I can be I'm very sensitive already, a little autistic, and then the audio is part of it. So she couldn't even really hear it too much. We were out on the shore, and I just went under, and I was like, "Oh no! I have to go out." And then I started crying. I wasn't sad, but I started. Tears were happening,
Yeah.
and I got potty chills.
I loved it.
Well,
like
they're
I
fun
went on
series.
they were humpbacks that were
Oh my
off the
God.
coast of Maui, and it was mating season.
So they were
Epic.
sonar pulses of like So I have synesthesia. So when
Oh,
I go
wow.
underneath, and it was like I could hear thousands of them, and they were all sending light blue, like
Wow.
it looked like a Mortal Kombat sword. That's like when you cut
Like
through
a
the
saber,
earth, like a
like,
saber.
yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, those are powerful beings. Earth isn't even ours,
Yeah.
bro. Earth isn't even ours.
Right.
They're from anyway. The ocean. I'm with
That's
you.
epic. Wow, that sounds like
Okay.
unbelievable.
Hawaii.
We learned that if a single whale male hasn't been like teamed up with a woman yet in mating season, that a lot of the noises that we were hearing were single males calling other single males so they
Wingmanning.
could go cruise together and find some chicks.
Bro, let's hit the strip, bro.
Cute.
That's mind blowing.
That's what the
cute.
guide told us,
Mind-blowing.
anyways.
I believe it.
I
mean,
believe it.
I feel like they wouldn't lie about that. You know? Especially now that we have like phones like right
Yeah.
on site. Like, wait a second.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, like the ocean is like it is medicine.
So
period for
magical.
me. I just I'm in
you're in
love.
Mexico
All
now.
bodies of water, but ocean.
Ocean specifically, Caribbean specifically,
Yeah.
for me at least. Yeah.
Or Caribbean, totally. That's a
Yeah,
So you
vibe.
can sit in it.
What is your favorite album of all time?
Oh, wow.
If you had to choose one.
Oh, that's so. I hate when people ask me
I
that.
know I had to as one music
What genre?
artist to another.
What genre?
Selfishly like
Rap.
or R&B, like soul rap. Like I
Okay,
would
okay.
put that all in.
Okay, rap is easy. It's the Chronic 2001.
Let's go sing.
Obviously.
Let's go.
It just simply will never not be so fucking good to listen to.
God, I knew that
Yeah.
we were so similar. I got to do that several times with a live band.
What?
Sold out at the Opera House. I did Eminem's parts. Crazy. I know that album front to back. I can do
Dude,
every
what,
song.
was it like an impersonation thing?
Why
Yeah,
you
it
gotta
was
say
like
it
a
like
cover.
that?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I
I
wasn't
just
really
wanna- I just
Eminem.
want to understand. I just want to understand what the
There's a
fuck.
cover
Like,
band.
I'll show
band.
you.
It's
A cover
called
band.
Wind
A
So
cover
Wind
band.
Wing Night.
That's what I meant
These
to say,
guys
yeah.
Wing Night. They crush it. Like they. So
Oh
that's
my
what
You
God,
they
should
set
definitely
the
check
Opera
them
House.
out if
cool.
you.
And I
yeah.
come out as Eminem for What's the Difference? And I dye my hair blonde, all red. Like I went to the Up and Smoke tour and figured out I did overalls one time. And just like I take off the bandana.
People go
and
nuts.
people go nuts. I love that
oh
album
my God, that's
so much.
Epic.
Yeah, dude.
It's really powerful.
I love
Oh my
that
God,
album
that's
so much.
so cool, dude. That's
And
yeah. That
it's
album's
also
just-
as like
just-
a audience member, it's so cool for people just to like love something so much all together. Like
Totally,
music,
yeah.
music shows, man. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's such a vibe there where
Yeah.
everyone's like, I'm obsessed with
Yeah,
this.
man.
Like,
Especially the nostalgic shit. Like when
Yeah.
I learned that when you what you listen to in high school, it encodes in a certain way that it just there will be nothing that fucking matches that later. Like
We're so under the same green and black umbrella of the Chronic
oh,
2001.
dude,
It's the
hence,
coolest shit.
Hence, still Dre me my walkout song to the
Yes, that's right. Okay, that was you. I gave the DJ Daps for that. That was you.
yeah.
We
I'm like,
went
just
to-
play Still Dre because that was my like book promo like reel or whatever on Instagram or whatever. And then he's like, "What's your walkout song?" And he's like, "Do you want it to be like Fearless, like my song?" And I was like, "No, like I want it to be Still Dre."
Yes, so hard. Scott Storch with the piano.
Yeah, dude.
Do you know Eminem
good.
wrote The Watcher? We thought
No.
Jay-Z wrote it, but things just ain't the same for gangsters.
Wow.
Eminem wrote that.
Wow.
And
God, that's an album and a half, man. It's just
dude,
Yeah.
and the skits, Eddie Griffin was on it. What the fuck you want? By the bar?
dude. Also, Slim Shady, like the Slim Shady LP was, yeah. I mean,
Hello.
Yeah,
I can do that one front to back too.
I
love
bet,
That
I
one.
bet.
Just the two of us, like that was so beautiful. That was still Eminem bringing in like the Bass Bros who he used to produce with in Detroit, like with
Oh,
Dre,
okay,
like because they got a
okay.
bunch of tracks, right? And then they turned a couple of them into tracks on that. I love that song. Come on, everybody.
dude, the whole album, like it's
Of
just
course you
those
do.
were those days were just like, oh man, they were special.
comedy was good at that time too.
Was it like the Chris Rock days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Bigger
like
and
Dave
blacker.
Chappelle. and-
Yeah, Killing Me
like
Softly.
when they were just coming, like
Yeah.
Well, they were they've already
Dave
been
Chappelle,
out, but
Killing Me Softly, I used to have on my little MP3 player. I
That's
used
so
to play it in high
that's
school.
so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
What about? 'Cause I could go on about the album all fucking. Day.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Literally, we could start rapping it. What about like a soulful or singer album?
Yeah, that one's tough too. Okay, I'm gonna go with Mariah Carey, Rainbow.
When I walk by, right? That
Yes,
was on that. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Heartbreaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because like Mariah and Christina Aguilera and Alicia Keys like taught me how to sing.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I
okay,
could feel
like
that. I could feel that from you. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. You know what I mean? So like I've got to go with something that like. But there's so many good R&B albums out there. Like, I don't even know
It's a
how.
great choice.
That is,
mean,
I
feel like it's an obvious choice, but it's, I could have maybe gone a bit deeper with that.
Oh
But
my
no,
god.
it is the album. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
Right.
Mariah
it
album
is
for me.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Lauryn Hill also.
For
that's a
sure.
Crazy one.
Oh God, the X Factor, man.
The miseducation of Miss Hill. Just that concept of like the desk, like the miseducation. Like she was going at the education system early.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and rightfully so. There's a lot of, I'm obviously an academic, and I would never have chosen anything different when I got into school like 6 years ago. Like, it was the best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Sick.
And didn't want to, by the way, when I got in, like, did not want to go to school.
No.
Yeah, just like almost trauma level, like kicking and screaming, getting into the program.
Why did you do it then? So you could.
So this mentor, right, that like helped me, get into meditation when I was younger. He, supported all the things I was doing as a child performance, ray. When I got into my 20s is when I started to really struggle. And he, early in my 20s, said something to me like, like, it's never too late to go back to school kind of thing, if you ever, just saying kind of thing. And I remember that sent me into like an absolute tornado of emotion, because I was like, oh, he can see something. Like he
doesn't believe in me or something.
Yeah, or he sees the future and he's trying to prepare me.
Okay.
And I addressed that with him, and he's like, no, that's not it, blah, blah, blah. But all the live long way through my 20s, he would kind of just keep saying it. And then finally, right before COVID happened, it was like, yeah, I guess it was 2019. I was on my knees, and I was like, I'm fucking thoroughly lost. This like amazing project that I was just a part of ended. I'm in a low. I have no idea what's next. I have no idea, like, again, just how to keep up this pattern of up and down and not knowing where to get my money. Like, I'm running out.
Yeah.
And he just said, go back to school.
I've been
This
telling
time
you
he
this, girl.
told me,
Oh my God.
and like, what do you know?
Oh, man.
Fucking COVID happened, and it's the
Yeah.
perfect time to get my education. And not only that, but the one of the major reasons I didn't want to get into school is because I didn't want to be tied to Toronto. My soul knew that this wasn't it. So COVID revolutionized all these programs to be online. I was already balls deep during COVID, so like I didn't have to like get my mind around things.
Right.
But it was just like, I trust him so much, and he's helped me so much on my journey, that I knew that even though every part of me did not want to do that, like you could arguably say my soul was even like, I don't know, dog.
Wow.
Every part of me was not interested.
I remember like you at the studio
Being like, I'm in school now.
going back to school, and I was like, that's so awesome. And you were pretty positive about it, but there was like a wait.
Right. Yeah,
Sure.
man, really
Wait.
big. Especially those first couple years. I was like, this is an endless fucking path, and I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And and then little did I know I was going to
Holy
actually get my master's.
shit.
But yeah, like I full circle, I deeply am grateful for the opportunity to learn and go to academia and come out in one piece. However, I will also say there is a lot of bullshit that you have to like kind of compartmentalize as you go through the process. There's a lot of archaic systems that don't function properly. There's a lot of like things that are unfair. Like it's an institution, right? It's an organization at the end of the day.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. Like,
Why can't
Anyway.
they update those parts of it?
well,
Do they not want them
It needs
to
to
be
collapse
updated?
probably first.
it's possible. I think, yeah, who the hell knows if it's like we just don't feel like spending money on that, or it's already working and you're already paying, so whatever. I think like when you look at the public system, that's super interesting, because we already have like intelligence tests that show us now that like these types of testing mechanisms, like fucking multiple choice, for example, and memorizing, aren't effective.
They don't work.
So what the fuck are we doing? You know?
Yeah.
And now that AI is coming out, it's like they're gonna have to really regroup and like change everything that they're doing, get more creative with how to engage kids,
Yeah.
get more creative with how to test them. Finally, like make this thing make sense for more people. Like it's a whole overhaul that's about to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's prepared for it.
Maybe
though, you know?
if they decide to serve dying North American population of engagement because we're complaining from the top of the hill. I agree with you. I'm a dropout. I wouldn't. If I have kids, I'm not sending them to school. Like, nuh-uh. Unless I bust a 180 and end up getting my something like you did. That's where I'm at on it now.
Who knows? Maybe it's going to be awesome by the time.
Maybe it's awesome.
We pump one out.
But the thing is like...
I hear that with my whole heart.
I'm strapped in for the ride. We'll see.
Yeah. That's a good position to be in.
It's like the schools will serve, like homie from India will come because it's 1,000 times better here, even with the flaws.
That's fair.
So
that's a fair point.
I do think from as much as everyone here has endured their own trauma, but from like the global perspective of first world country privilege, we are not going to want to use that institution, but a clean institution seems pretty sweet to some people. So
100%.
I think, as you just mentioned, the thing I've been using for everything now, ChatGPT.
Yep.
Like, if you are privileged enough to be in the first world and have one of these fucking soul suckers, you really don't need, unless you're going for something, there's a certification, so then you can like give a service. Because
there are certain things that you need, like a doctor, a pilot,
please know what happens with that. For reparative medicine, I call for sure. But like so many things. Like unless you need a curriculum, but like the school system it will fail that kind of top sweet slice of the pie of the world, but it will probably not change because you're right. People will use school as a vehicle to move countries.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's interesting.
It's not even about what you're learning, it's about the institution's function, I think, yeah.
I'm excited to see what you were going to say.
I would also just like to put out in the world, since that we're restructuring the school system right now. That's what we're doing. That's the energy that we'd like to see.
Yeah.
I would also like to put out that there are some brilliant schools in countries that maybe aren't considered first or whatever.
Oh, right.
And we need to globally develop programs where their medicine doctorates can be valid over here.
You know how many cab drivers could be saving hearts? Like our heart surgeons?
We have a healthcare system that is failing, and we have access to people
to
that
talent.
You're not letting them do their job that they've been trained in. There needs to be some crossover programs. They can't spend another $50,000 to go back to med school for 12 years, bro. They've already done that.
Yeah. And they moved their whole family
So I
here.
just wanted to put that out.
I'm glad you said that because it's so true. Like, come, for the love of God.
What are we doing?
We can put some time and energy into figuring out where there's gaps in their curriculum and ours and make it up.
I'm sure people have done that already. I think that's probably So the implementation needs to happen. I think it's going to happen. I think that
I don't think there'll be a choice. Right?
I
like
agree.
if you actually want a kid to learn, or you actually want, more agriculture workers or more doctors or whatever it is, like we're building our country, with different humans that were born here. And so we need to adapt to them, not the other way around, or let's say at least bi-directional.
Well, this just won't happen. You have wasted talent.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They don't have the resources anymore. If you move your family halfway across the world, anyway. That's crazy. So, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you're almost done.
To go through the busted system.
That all spawned out of the miseducation of Lauren Hill.
Holy shit, thank you, Lauren Hill. You're still starting conversations today.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are all my favorite questions for you.
Thank you. Janey, I want everyone to go buy your book.
Yes.
Yay. I would love that.
Where should they do that?
Get some Ms. Brown in your life.
It's on Amazon Global and other retailers like Barnes & Noble, and I think in Walmart in the U.S.
Let's go.
Chapters maybe has a Kindle version. But yeah,
okay, great.
Amazon for sure.
Amazon. We'll put that link in the description below. From the transformational path. No, that's not it. Janey Brown, Fear to Fearce.
We can still read the back.
Yeah, the transformational path
pause.
of
Take two.
Fear
Start
to
now.
Fierce. Okay, here we go. The transformational path of Fear to Fierce.
Nailed it.
And this is cool. This is like you taking everything that you had built and self-cultivated through digging and using these processes that was originally for artists to get over fear.
Yeah, and even before that, it was originally for my own artistic journey because I struggled so much with stage fright and anxiety, and I wasn't going to continue if I didn't have some type of, approach. So
did you make it your friend?
My shadow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's so beautiful. Nice.
Yeah, every now and then it's still a monster. Don't get me wrong, but
You can be from a monster.
we can
Yeah.
we're faster and faster at shaking hands.
God bless.
Faster and faster at putting our arms around each other.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
And where should we follow you?
Janey B World is basically all of my socials. JaneyBrown.com is my website, but all my socials are at Janey B World or at Fearce Academy spelled with an FEARCE.
Love that.
God bless. And if you could leave, I know we have so many delicious snippets from today, but if you could just kind of take a gust from your consciousness and give people a little sentence or two, one saying to live a more fulfilling, happy life, what would you say?
Oh man, that's a lot to unpack.
I know.
I would say. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do instead. Okay, just because it's top of mind, I'm gonna say what I would have said to myself. I know that's like also a common question people ask, but it's just easier for me to phrase it this way.
Perfect.
So people are like always like, oh, like what would you say to your younger self or whatever?
Janey Brown, what would you say to your younger self?
I would say don't change a damn thing, because this is where I am based on every decision that I made. You know, like think about that. Yeah, and like aside of like from killing people, you know, or like murdering, because killing and
whoopsie.
murdering are two different things.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, like block out the. Anyway, we don't need to go into all that. It's just, you know, apart from doing things that, you know, aren't for like anyone's highest will or whatever, like you can't fuck it up. Just do the best you can in the moment. That's all you can do. Don't blame yourself. Don't shame yourself. And when you get 10 years down the road or even 1 year down the road, you're probably going to look back and be like, yeah, I needed to do that. Even
made
though I
sense.
think I could have prevented that, or even though I want to say I regret that, like ultimately I'm here, and it was comprised of all of those dark and light moments.
Oh my God, thank you.
I love
heard
that you're
I
here.
felt that.
I heard it and felt it too.
Yeah, thank you for being
Your
here.
gift.
Thanks
You're
for
a
having me.
blessing.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
coming
you
on.
so
You
much.
guys are a
Appreciate it.
gift too, man.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Blessed.
thanks
Thank
for having
you.
these conversations.
Yeah, thank you. Go follow
Subscribe,
Janey.
Follow Janey.
Love yourself.
Thank you so much.
Love others.
Don't shame yourself.
Send nudes.
We love you.
If you're loud, love you. Bye.
Send nudes.
Consensual news.
Consensual nudes. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you like snacks?
Do you like quality environments?
Do you like non-alcoholic beverages?
Do you like world-class entertainment?
Do you like sweating sometimes with others?
Do you like buying into an intimate experience that is like an exclusive meet and greet with executives?
Do you like talking about cannabis?
Do you like just being a real person and not having graphics shoved in your face?
Do you like speakeasies?
Do you like a low-key vibe with a little oasis garden that you can chill in?
Do you like hanging out with your friends in Toronto?
Do you like hugging a special tree?
Do you like some live band music and improvised songs?
Do you like comedians that are like hilarious, telling you jokes very close to you?
Have you answered yes to all of these questions?
Consecutively, all of them. Then Paradox Live is for you, and we would love to have you join us if you can get tickets, but it sells out weeks before every event.
The next Paradox Live is October 4th, and the next one after that is December 4th.
Oh man, I'm so excited for these.
They're both on sale now.
Yeah, on Jump Comedy. We will either see you there or you will see clips online and have FOMO probably until you get to one. But it's a special experience when you do. Paradox Live, our own little brew of event.
Do you
Open
like-
flower bar?
Do you like us?
We like you.